The Pythagorean theorem is used to find the length of any missing side of a right triangle. Right triangles are usually marked with this little square right here. The sides of the triangle that are attached to that right angle are considered your legs, and they're usually marked with an A and a B. The other side is marked with a C, and it's called your hypotenuse, and it's always your longest side, and it is not connected to your right angle. It's really neat that the Pythagorean theorem is saying if you took the length of A and made a square around it, and the length of B and made a square around it, and you added those together, so A squared plus B squared, that it would actually equal the area of a square where the sides are the length of C. So A squared added to B squared will equal C squared, and that's the Pythagorean theorem. You can use the Pythagorean theorem to find the length of a missing side. First write the theorem, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And half the battle is knowing which ones are A, B, and C. Remember, the legs are attached to the right angle, and those are A and B, and C is the hypotenuse. So in this case, we're looking for C. So we know 3 squared plus 4 squared has to equal C squared in a right triangle. So 9 plus 16 equals C squared. So 25 on this side equals C squared. Now to undo a square, you want to take its square root. So we're going to take the square root of C squared, that gives us C, and do the same to the other side. The square root of 25 gives us 5. So we know that C equals 5 centimeters. But of course it doesn't always come out that evenly, and we're not always looking for the hypotenuse. So in this case, we're actually looking for this side right here. So we know we might call this A and this B. We know they're both legs because they're attached to the right angle, and we know C is the one across from the right angle. It's also the longest side. So let's fill in what we know. 3 squared plus whatever we're looking for squared equals 6 squared. So 9 plus B squared equals 36. Subtract 9 on both sides, and you get B squared equals 27. Now you're going to have to take the square root of both sides, so we get the square root of B squared gives us B, and the square root of 27. Well, we know it's going to be a little bit more than 5. You'll probably have to use a calculator, and you'll say B is about 5.2.